When I moved into Maplewood Lane, I thought I was escaping chaos. The place looked perfect: trimmed lawns, white fences, kids riding bikes. Everyone waved when I drove by, but their smiles felt practiced. It was quiet. Almost too quiet. Every evening, the same pattern, the same dog barking, the same porch light turning off. It felt like a movie set, replaying the same loop over and over. The first person I met was my next-door neighbor, Claire. She looked like someone out of a 90s magazine, calm, polite, flawless. Her voice was soft, like she'd rehearsed every word. And when I told her I'd just moved in, she smiled like she already knew. "Welcome home," she said. Home. Not the neighborhood. That night I saw her lights turn on right at 7 p.m., sharp, unwavering, like clockwork. Days passed, and the same small details began to gnaw at me. Her curtains never moved. Her car never left the driveway. Every time I looked out the window, she was there, sipping coffee, staring straight ahead. I waved once. She waved back, perfectly synchronized, like a reflection. That night I searched. Claire, Maplewood Lane. Nothing. Not even an address match. The next morning, I asked my mailman, "How long has Claire lived next door?" He looked confused. "Who?" "Claire. The woman in the blue house." He frowned. "That house has been empty since 2018, sir." I laughed it off, but when I checked again that evening, her light was on. And this time, I swear I saw her standing by the window, waving again. I went down to the town records office, determined to prove my sanity. The woman at the counter smiled politely, until I mentioned the address. Her face went pale. "That house is condemned. No one's supposed to be living there." She flipped through files, scrolling through the database. "Claire," I repeated. She hesitated. "We did have a Claire once, but she died years ago." That night, I couldn't stop myself. I grabbed a flashlight and walked toward her house. The air felt wrong, heavier, colder. The windows were fogged from the inside, but I saw a faint shape sitting motionless in the living room. I whispered, "Claire?" The shape turned its head. And in that moment I saw she was watching me. I stepped closer. The window pane showed a faint reflection of me, but something was off. In the reflection, I wasn't outside. I was inside, sitting next to her on the couch, smiling. Then the light flickered once, and both of us in the reflection turned to face the real me. Everything went dark. I woke up the next morning in my own bed. For a moment, I thought it was all a dream. But when I looked outside, her house was different. Curtains gone. Lawn overgrown. Like years had passed overnight. A "for sale" sign stood on her lawn, old, rusted, half collapsed. By afternoon, I couldn't hold it in anymore. I called the local police. 2 officers came by, polite, skeptical, the usual small-town kind. When I pointed toward Claire's house, one of them frowned. "Sir, that property's been empty since the fire." "What fire?" I asked. He turned to his partner. They exchanged a look. "It burned down in 2018. Electrical fault. Woman died inside." "Claire Mason?" I laughed. "That's impossible. I talked to her last night." When the police left, I stood there frozen. The wind picked up, blowing something across my yard, a photograph. Old, burned at the edges. It was Claire, smiling in front of that same blue house. But next to her was me. I dropped it instantly. I'd never taken that photo. I went back inside, trying to make sense of it. That's when I noticed a small door under the stairs, one I'd never seen before. Curiosity overrode fear. I opened it. The smell hit me first: dust and old smoke. Inside were boxes full of personal belongings, labeled Claire. I picked one up. Inside was a journal. The last entry was dated July 14, 2018. "He's here. He moved in next door today. He looks kind. Maybe this time, he'll stay." But I hadn't moved there until 2024. That night I couldn't sleep. Every creak in the house felt alive, familiar. At 7 p.m. sharp, I heard the faint hum, the same electric buzz from her house. I turned toward my living room mirror and saw Claire standing behind me. I spun around. Nothing. But in the reflection, she stayed. My phone rang. Unknown number. I picked up, expecting spam, but the voice was soft, familiar. "You promised you'd stay," she whispered. "Who is this?" "It's me, Ethan." Static. Then silence. I checked my call log, no record of any call. I ran to her house again. The door, this time, was open. Inside, everything was new. Furniture clean, walls painted, candles lit, as if no time had passed. And there she was, Claire, sitting on the couch, smiling softly. "You came back," she said. "I told you this is home." I wanted to run, but my legs wouldn't move. Her eyes were different now, too calm, too certain. "You shouldn't have left me," she whispered. "Now we start again." The next morning, police tapes surrounded both houses. Neighbors said they'd heard screaming, but they only found one person inside. A woman, alive, unharmed. When they asked her name, she smiled and said, "Claire Mason." No one ever found the man she was living with. But every night at 7 p.m., both houses light up. Exactly. At the same time. Maybe she never existed. Or maybe she made me exist for her. If you still see her light at 7 p.m., don't wave back. What do you think happened to Ethan? Comment your thoughts.